is up, guys? Welcome back. Kevin Aldo here. So, did a pre-recorded video yesterday or this morning. Yeah, I think it was this morning or early afternoon or whatever. Wanted to do a live stream for a little bit, maybe answer some of your guys' questions. Was debating on never doing a live stream or doing a live chat in the Discord. Maybe I should have picked the latter, but live stream for a little bit at least here. We'll talk about, the main, I guess, elephant in the room, the 12-hour time frame. Moving average, you'd even argue 16-hour, already confirmed that bear div there. So this could be a short. Let me give you a little bit of short setup. I mean, yeah, maybe back down to 92, maybe, something of that nature could potentially be where we're headed next, and then that would act as probably support, probably get a jump off of there or something, and then hopefully continue up to 100K, which is what everybody wants. And I think that if we look at our daily here, this coming down, maybe 102, yeah, that kind of area, maybe 102, 100. By the time you hit it end of June, I think you'd hit it around Powell, around FOMC, around the next FOMC meeting. So yeah, by the way, I've been working on the left shoulder, just trying to get the get it more even with the right and all that, scapula. Been an interesting time. Definitely learned a lot, about that and all that. So to reiterate here are the trades on, writing those up. I may enter the Bitcoin short. I'll post about it in the Discord after this stream. What? Did we just cut out? We might have just cut out. I think we're back though. That's a first. This internet is usually pretty good. That's a first. We cut out. I think we're okay though. We're okay. That was just a second. Oh well. Anyway, guys, if you got any questions, more of a chill stream today, let me know. Chain link right there. I guess you could even argue, I mean, maybe if this is like really freaking wants to irritate everyone, not even getting up to your 50 weekly moving average in that 16-hour, 200 rejecting, but I don't think that's the case. I think in all likelihood, you will see something of that nature, So yeah. This is a hard line right there. I guess losing 92 probably would be down to 81, down farther. If we do, we do lose it. And then, I mean, I would guess here, if we want to just map this out, into end of this month, let's say Powell knocks us down, probably not too much of a surprise. Let's say February's bearish. Where would you end up if February's bearish? I mean, it could be a really bad February, maybe worse than, 17%. Maybe it's like this, 20, 30%. Maybe not, though. That is kind of catastrophic, I guess. Down to 72, and then hopefully we get to lower areas here, just like that 49 or something. That's what I'm hoping for, because I want to buy it lower, obviously. Let me show you guys some charts that I've been looking at. So obviously ETH still strong, probably strong against Bitcoin. Chainlink probably will come up. Solana probably will come up. ExxonMobil probably will come up. This is going to probably come up more next 4 to 6 months. Keep going. XLE, that's the energy ETF, the highest market cap one. And yeah. Versus SPY, I could see this coming up quite a bit. I don't know about these highs of 22, but close to it maybe. Let's actually look at it. So I like my 3-day EMAs. That may get bright relatively soon. The 2-day may be, okay, not yet. It's just like keep zooming in, you find something bullish. I mean, okay, daily there. And then if we look at others versus Bitcoin, that's always been, kind of the same here. And then Norwegian Stairmaster. Oh, were you the person who commented on it? Were you the person that commented on the? It wasn't a good. But tell me, how should I improve on the Norwegian on the Stairmaster, bro? What did I do wrong? Tell me. Yeah, nobody yeah, all these crypto people, nobody goes to the gym, nobody does a Stairmaster. Nobody knows. Nah, 4x4 in the Norwegian 4x4 in the Stairmaster is pretty good. I like it. Everybody's at their own level. Anyway, but Occidental Petroleum looks really attractive right here. I think these will run quite a bit. What's up, Carlton Way? I appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, quite a bit more potentially. I mean, that weekly right there, weekly 200, you may get back to. I would hope so. Uranium as well. I'm hoping for kind of these highs, I guess. I don't know. Let's just map. It's had a good run up. Map these up. I don't know. I guess it could double even. I guess it could double. You know, there's potential here. And then 90% upward XLE versus Bitcoin. Potentially. I mean, I don't know if you're going to go that high, but it could be. You know, right? Yeah, that 2021, man, it but top there, like the S&P 500 topped against it there, but yeah, it could keep going, absolutely. So XLE does look pretty attractive. Energy looks attractive. Next 4 to 6 months, maybe 8 months, then convert back to Bitcoin. I mean, you potentially freaking double your Bitcoin with this trade, maybe. I talked about it earlier in the pre-recorded video I uploaded earlier today. So check that out. So summarize, I guess, short term, you know, you could come down a little bit. I wouldn't bet too much, but I do think the this short could be like a good hedge, I guess. Maybe just do a 1-to-1 or something like that. Yeah. Maybe just a 1-to-1. Excuse me. So yeah, there's that. And I always appreciate you guys smashing the likes. If you guys are interested in trading, I think 2 of the promos just ended, but there could be some new ones. Let me look a little bit more deeply here if they revamped anything. Sometimes they do revamp stuff. And now it ended January 14th. But there still are bonuses if you sign up. They'll say. You do get... Oh, here we go. They revamped this one. Yeah, so 2 more weeks. BYDFI. Two more weeks. Deposit 20K, get 2,000. They revamped it for another 2 weeks. You get 20% of your fees for life with my link as well. Check it out if you're interested. Let me know if you deposited at least $150. Open a support ticket in Discord, and we'll give you 1 free month there. Just put in your email or your UID, and we'll get you sorted. So yeah, and okay, that's Solana there. I mean, there's not a ton to talk about at the moment. I mean, obviously you got, I don't know, the I didn't look at this too much, but more Trump stuff. And yeah. Yeah, not too much. I wanted to let's actually look at a few of these. Robinhood's coming down. I think this will probably generally continue to come down for a bit. Yeah, I mean, that 2-day too, look at some of these EMAs. That's going to get in the grays. And then the nice thing about this is you could just buy it when it goes back in the brights on the 2-day. And was a typical bear market last, 8 to 12 months or something? I mean, it probably would align with a lot of these things. I don't know how far this would go down. Maybe down to 65 again. I don't know. Man, I didn't realize how volatile this freaking thing was. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's going down to 30 anytime soon, but yeah, this thing was, yeah. I think this is where it's going to finally get more of a correction, but yeah. Will Trump say anything to make crypto? I don't see any reason to believe he would, but I haven't been following it that closely. I think the Greenland thing is not gonna. I mean, first it was Canada. It's like all these like more. It's controlled by Denmark, right? It's kind of like a territory of Denmark. I mean, all these more like progressive liberal countries usually don't budge. Like Canada. So yeah, I mean that was a joke of the U.S. taking over Canada, but yeah. And let's see here. Twitter. Got some new followers. Doing good with that. Euphoria, where was Euphoria? I don't know. Maybe here. I feel like it was I feel like it doesn't always have to be that chart that says euphoria and all that. You know what I mean? Especially as you get into a larger market cap for Bitcoin, more and more people know about it. But I'm sure there's some ways to, because Bitcoin Spaces, it was pretty good. Let's see here. Yeah, I agree with it. Yeah, I don't know about it. You might need to go up a little bit more in 106. You never know, but yeah, to a certain extent, I agree with that. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Oh God, what's this? Oh, I got a ton of that. Okay. Okay. Anyway, that's interesting. Mortgage at 4.8. Well, if you're an investor like Evan Aldo, you would you wouldn't pay off that, but yeah. Anyway, so it's there right there. What's up, 99k to 89k? Yeah, I could go a little bit. I don't know if you should take the. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm thinking a little bit more about that short, but because you're not really. That's the thing too. You're not really hitting anything. I mean, almost, yeah. 99k would be a big tease right there. None of your business. You called. I think you called. If I'm not mistaken, you called it right. I think not. Because I remember when you were, I think you were saying it was, you got it close. I mean, nobody calls it exactly right, but I think you got it kind of close where you called. You were calling it in August, I think, that the bull run was over. And you weren't that far off because it peaked in October, obviously, a couple months later. But the main thing, yeah. Where do you think we're going after the 89k? That's what I would ask. Hopefully the answer is 50k because I want me some cheap Bitcoin, like 1800 for ETH. You know, lower areas. I heard Mr. Beast bought ETH or something, or BMNR, which I would probably stay. Okay, you know, personally, yeah. Do you even Stairmaster, bro? Do you even do the Stairmaster, bro? Anyway, what was I gonna say here? Yeah, I mean, I think that when you look at a lot of these AI things, HOOD's not really, it's an exchange, but a lot of these AI things I think are going to start to come down, especially Palantir, uranium. I think uranium is going to keep going. Sideways for all 20. I mean, I don't, bro. In what range? Like, you mean like between 80 to 100? I mean, you mean like you're thinking this? Like, I mean, that would be freaking. I think it's like, just imagine. Like, are you thinking this? Like, I'm a little bit like. Nah. Oh man, I really hope it's not sideways for all of. Silver? Why not uranium? Silver is 91. Parabolic. I guess it could go up to 113 next fib level. I don't know. I would think that that Powell's gonna knock this down, gold and silver. That's what I would think, along with everything else. And I think some capital would roll into energy. Pretty bullish on energy right now. We'll see what happens. I think there's a good shot. Oxy, what's the XLE ETFs, stuff like that. ExxonMobil, I guess Chevron. There was Sonico. I mean, people like the oils. There was this one's a smaller cap, I think. Yeah, 8 billion. People have liked this though. Come on. But yeah, I mean, right there. Just thinking here. Yeah, right at that point, they're trying to jump up a little bit or something. 1,000 silver? Wow. I could see gold hitting 10,000. 1,000 silver is obviously tougher than that. I mean, 10x would be wild. Sonico's trying to join. Yeah, I think all the energy ones are kind of consolidation for a while. And I mean, this came up, you know. And if you got into, you know, nobody probably got in that low, but yeah, $10. I mean, yeah, well, nothing too crazy, but anyway, Bitcoin's going up. Let's take a look. I mean, I think the thing most of us, you know, technical analysis would think is, you know, you're gonna get up to some area over here and then reject and come down. And you'll probably reject and come down in February, or, you know, significantly come down in February. I think it's kind of a month-to-month thing. January was the green month. You know, February is going to be the red month. So yeah, let's see. Umbrella node is that. Am I just too much of a simpleton? I'm not really sure here. Copper. Yeah, what's up, Planty? Yeah, so there's copper is one of them. I kind of like uranium better, but yeah, there's going to be some. The metals are gonna get some, yeah. It generally just bleeds against, you know, gold, but copper too. I think the uranium's more the energy type thing. Yeah, but this could ride. Big area right there. Be careful, that $6 mark. Then maybe $8. Yeah, $8. I can see you're higher. Yeah. Copper. Evan, copper. Although, no, I don't own copper. I missed out on silver, I'll admit it. But what was I gonna say? You know, sorry. I've been in gold. And then uranium I got into recently, and some of the energy stuff. So I'm hoping that outperforms Bitcoin by quite a bit. And then like, let's just look at the, you know, energy ETF, like the safest thing here. And I think I had it again. I already have that. Oh, and I got out of that. But yeah, I mean, I hope this goes up some more against Bitcoin, that I could get in, you know. I don't think it's going to go up this high, but can it go up half of that? Maybe. You know, can it get up to like here? That would be enough, you know, or close to that. That's fine, yeah. Yeah. Just getting started. Okay. I like to see it. $1,000 still, yeah. I mean, yeah. I like to see it. There's somebody talking about somebody in some Twitter Spaces. Forget what it was. I don't think it's gonna happen, but they're talking about $5,000 Monero. I think this thing is almost cooked though, but we'll see. You know, we'll see. So yeah. Zcash as well. This, yeah, I mean, this is, I think, I mean, it could go up in the next couple weeks, but yeah, daily in the grays here. I like my EMAs, maybe that 2-day in the gray, or I mean, 3-day is usually a real good like sell signal for a lot of things. I mean, this has done nothing for so long and then just went parabolic. But right there, I remember I traded this like from freaking 80 to 160 or something, or 150 back in April 22. I got out though at the right time, but yeah, and then it just fell off a cliff. But yeah, gold silver ratio. People were saying, I mean, I haven't looked at it too closely, but gold silver ratio has been pointing at gold, I thought, but yeah, I mean, maybe. You know, it's hard to say. Maybe it'll be like the 1940s, man. I don't know. It's tough to say. Yeah. 50 Zcash at 20, yeah. What would 50 Zcash, what's Zcash worth? Is it 700 or something? I just want to see, what would that have been worth? So let's say 400 times 50, what, 90K? Is that 90K? Why am I should know this. Yeah, that'd be 90K, I think. No, it'd be 20K. I am dumb, man. Oh no, 50, no, we're looking at 50, 5 times 4 is 20. 1, 2, 3. 20, and then what, yeah, 20K, yeah. All right, nothing crazy, but yeah. Well, maybe silver will do 10x anyway. From 20K to 200K. I would kind of agree. If I were to pick between gold and silver, I'd pick gold. But out of those three, I would probably pick uranium. But I think uranium's a riskier bet. I think energy, I think the money's going to go. I think the safest bet's probably, I mean, ETF, obviously, but like an XLE, but then Oxy, it's a Buffett company. I do think that, I just want to look at Berkshire versus SPY at the moment, because I think this is going to be one of those years where Berkshire outperforms SPY. I mean, it is a high bond exposure, but yeah, something fishy is going well. I think the same could be said about Monero too. I think people were doing, I'm not going to say, well, I think people who wanted some big money's trying to take profits on Bitcoin. They don't want to pay, people don't want to pay up. This, I think, should jump relatively soon. We'll see what happens. So, yeah. So is that, and then against. But the thing here is if you go XLE, XLE versus, NASDAQ, and that's probably an interesting, green hike in Ashley. I mean, there are some major signs here. And then, you saw 2022, that was 22 there. It went on for a few years, but even if you get just half of that, I mean, that's a lot more NASDAQ shares, 60% upward. So, yeah. Derivatives and leverage. I don't know, Comex? Yeah. Well, the thing is, why would you try to short silver right now? I wonder, Brennan. Are you serious? Do you actually do the Stairmaster? Do you even Stairmaster, bro? But anyway, yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, I saw some people. I mean, some people were posting about on Twitter or whatever that they were big people too with a lot of money. They were claiming they were shorting silver, and then I don't want to I believe them, but they were kind of day trading it or scalp trading it. But I'm just I'm trying to short this, man. It's just there's better things to short in my opinion. It will come down probably 20-30% at some point, but I could see that situation. I don't know if you're going all the way back to 50. Anything's possible, but yeah. This thing has been a power horse, racehorse, race and silver. But the thing too is let's look at two things against those. Let's look at energy against silver. Let's look at that. Down a hell of a lot, obviously. Let's see if we are hitting anything major. Interesting. I mean, for this, you'd want to jump here. This actually, it's none of your business. You may be right, though, because this is just going into it's going to the underworld there, going to nowhere. But let's see uranium versus silver. Oops. There we go. That's interesting. Back to these evaluations. Big wick right there. You're lowering it. I don't know, man. I would rather mess with uranium. I think there's some good fundamentals in uranium and energy right now. But yeah. Shorting silver, I feel it'll eventually come down 20-30% like everything else. I think you're close. I mean, I think if you did that right before the damn FOMC meeting, you'd probably have a good shot of winning. But yeah, let's see. I mean, silver is going to be as high as what people are willing to buy and sell it at, like everything else. I could see silver at 200 or 300 by mid 2030s, about 10 years. That's when I think the metals would probably, the run would probably end mid 2030s, maybe 2040, like at the latest. That's what I would say. So yeah. There's that. Let's see. Well, let's see. Appreciate you, Jay Sherlock. Been a few years. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to Jay Sherlock. Been a huge fan. I really appreciate you, man, for sticking with me all these, in all these places, and all these years, and all these things that I've done. Been incredible. Incredible. I mean, I'm not the biggest person to short stuff. If I were to short, well, I mean, in terms of like day trades, yeah, I do that. But like, I mean, in terms of like a more long term, like shorting something for a few months, 6 months, maybe some like AI with really crappy P&E ratios, like yeah, like stuff like that, you know. Let's see. ETH will look at, yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm sure silver is used for a lot. Gold and silver have a lot of utility, yeah. ETH, I mean, so the thing I think on ETH, guys, is that my best guess would be the 2-week 200. This is the first time it hit it, too, as far as I know. Yeah, it had to have been. Let me just look at this a little bit more closely. Yeah, the Kraken's got the most data here. And I think you may hit it again around like 18, 19 or something. Couple months, you know, maybe May, you know, those situations. How was that? Let's see, yeah. Solid silver, human, yeah. I mean, they're going to get to that point. They're going to get to that point. 10 years, I don't know. Later 2030s, 2040s, 2050s is going to be wild, I think. You're going to see a lot of stuff, but yeah. Big old statue. Yeah, it's going to be like Star Wars, R2D2. See, it's probably going to be more like C3PO. Should make them out of gold. You know, the rich people have the gold robots. USA. What was I gonna say? I didn't see The Simpsons. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Anyway, this coming here over here. I think everything's got at least a little bit more to go. Like if we map this out, this would go on to the end of January. So it wouldn't surprise me if Chainlink gets up to 17. We can map out Solana as well. It wouldn't surprise me at all if this gets up to 170, maybe a little less. I don't know if you're gonna make those spiral lines, but you know. So I still am in that camp that things will generally continue. You could come back to 92 here. It wouldn't surprise me too much if you came back to 92. There is that possibility, guys. There's that possibility. Netflix. Yeah, we've looked at, yeah, I mean, I've looked at a few of these. I would think these will, I mean, that's what's just how crazy these things have done. But 55% down, you're already down a good amount too. 34. And the thing here is you could use a little EMA strategy, just get in when these turn bright again. I mean, here it was, let's just see Netflix. And I would think, yeah, I mean, it's like one of those things. It's almost like a Warren Buffett investment because it's like simple to understand. You know what I mean? Simple to understand. I think it would probably have a future. But 58 would be a good, 50% down. In terms of let's just think of companies in general. Okay, let's just think of things in general that are like easy. Because what's the Warren Buffett philosophy? Like easy to understand. I invest in things that are easy to understand. Like, I would even say Bitcoin is relatively easy to understand. Scarce digital asset, easy to send, keep, store, immune to hacks until quantum computing. you know, blockchain to a certain extent, like that, it's something generally pretty easy to understand. Netflix, that's something really easy to understand. Tesla, it's super simple to understand. I mean, complicated to, you know, if you really go deep into it, I guess, with the, you know, AI and all that, but easy to understand the goals, you know, easy to understand. Apple, pretty easy to understand. Amazon, pretty easy to understand. Google, pretty easy to understand. But the NVIDIA, yeah, that's still pretty, yeah. Okay, every company's easy to understand, but Linux versus Windows. I haven't used Linux in a while. Do you even use Linux, bro? I haven't used it in a long time. I use a Mac, so neither of those. But Bitcoin Cash, yeah. I mean, I think this is probably one of the. It's probably above its. Yeah. I have no comment. I don't. It can get up to maybe 800 here. The other thing too is we're now in greed, which is interesting. So people got excited, and that would kind of equate to, you know, the rejection here. So yeah, it's neutral on coin market cap, but the other freaking, like, if you go to Bitcoin fear and greed, just type in Bitcoin fear and greed here, and I wonder if AI could. Okay, it just tells you what it is, but the other one, yeah, this is it this? Yeah, that one. I think the alternate.com alternative. Neutral. Okay, so we're almost there. Yesterday was great. Okay, so people were afraid all of a sudden. Yeah, that's interesting. I just want to see if there's 30 days right there. Bro, if you can provide, go in the free Discord and like post some good Stairmaster tips. Like, if they're good, I'll give you a free month. If it's actually, because I've been doing the, like, I can do level like 12. I guess it depends on the Stairmaster brand or model or whatever, but I can do level 12 for like 5 minutes, I think, like on the Stairmaster. And that level 12 is like almost freaking running. Like, it's pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, do you even track your VO2 max, bro? But if you post some good Stairmaster tips, I'll probably give you a free month. It has to be like something, you know, it has to be something useful that I can apply. It has to be something I don't already know. But yeah. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm trying to think too. UK, what are people saying about it? Everybody's been complaining about the UK. And I mean, it kind of coincides with like Ray Dalio's like model of empires falling. Like, the empire is about relevant 100 years or, you know, 80 years after it kind of falls. So let's say it fell 1940, 1945, you know, end of World War II, you know, 2020s, losing its relevance. So that means the U.S. has probably got, you know, from now about 100 more years of relevance, which would put us like 2100. Probably. Things move slowly. Yeah, the boring. This jump here, so there's Ethereum. I mean, all right. So Ethereum looks good. That's the thing too. Like, I mean, I've been more in the bear camp, you know, and I think if Bitcoin looks more bearish than ETH right now, 2-week looks good. The concern would be right there, similar thing, and then you just fell off. Maybe this time's different. Who the hell knows? It does, like, I mean, so how would we kind of hedge for, you know, ETH going parabolic or whatever? How would we hedge for that? Probably the 3-day going back into the brights. Yeah, staying above this moving average, going back into the brights. But when you get down to the daily, and I think holding that daily too. Daily's going into brights. We'll see if that can kind of last. But it could get ferocious, ferocious in a negative way when you drop down, back to that 17, 18, 19, 2000, 250 years ago. Yeah, I mean, that's when it started, You made in the USAA. You haven't slept on a UAA. Like Michael Lindell with the pillows. He's not relevant anymore. Does he still advertise? Does he still, like, even associate with Trump? Arrow. Let's look at Arrow, sure. Aerodrome. Jollibee. Isn't that, you mean the Filipino fast food chain? Jollibee? Yeah. That looks pretty good, actually. I haven't looked at that. I was hoping it would do something like this into the end of 2025. It did not. It did the complete opposite of what I thought. I don't think I even ever, I know, I owned a lot of cryptos. I don't think this was one of them, but yeah, I mean, it could keep going up. Who knows? I mean, if it breaks downward, it's going to be really bad. Chainlink is one that, let's look at Chainlink. That's one I think will keep going up. Yeah, maybe 17. It keeps making higher lows, which is cool. So I think there's arguments to make for some of these. Not all of them, obviously, but some of these to keep going up, maybe throughout this year. And I would say the main thing that's going to kind of more cement that, view, cement that possibility would be these EMAs turning bright, in a month, and us continuing forward after Powell says whatever the hell he's going to say, But the thing here is that, January is going to be a pause. March is likely going to be a pause. April is likely going to be a pause. Maybe, assuming the new guy comes in, June's going to be a cut. And that's not even a guarantee. Again, the Fed chair, there's other people that vote on it. The Fed chair can't directly, decide it. But yeah. And then, so this is, let's just see here. It's going to be 1 to 2 cuts, it looks like. And this is what, already factoring in what Trump's going to do. That's 2 cuts, October. It's going to be 2 cuts based on this. Now, it may not, it could just be 1 cut. I guess it could be 3 cuts, but there's that. It's just not what we're hoping, in terms of cuts. Not yet. Now, S&P 500 coming down, with energy coming up, that's the thing too. That's going to get more hawkish theoretically. The energy part of that, if that does happen the way I think it will, and I'm pretty sure it will, that's not your environment for cuts, not yet. Even with the new guy in. Yields, I think you're getting sideways to more bearish probably. Yields. Palestine professional loan for a circus, yeah, it's all pawns, but that doesn't mean they're gonna cut. That weekly, is the weekly in the, that weekly, you've been trying, you eventually come down. Mortgage rates are what, 6% right now. What was the thing that, let me look at poly market here. What was the 30-year mortgage rate? Mortgage is the one I was looking at. This is, that's been all over the freaking place. Because it went down to like 16%. Yeah, there's probably like no freaking liquidity on this. That's why. Yeah, there's just no liquidity. But I got it in 54, yes. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But there's just no liquidity on this. Yeah. It is interesting. If somebody comes in, it's really going to put it one way or the other. Surprised people aren't betting on this, though. But I think it's kind of subject to interpretation too. Because let's go back to that. Yeah. Okay. Freddie Mac. Looked at in mortgage. Okay. We're close. Got 2 weeks. 15 year, yeah. Down a whole percentage point from a year ago. This is interesting. I haven't even looked at it here. Let's just see here from 5 years. Yeah, because then you get into frickin', 10 years. What was this? 2020. I mean, they're not that much higher than they were back in 2018 here, you know. Yeah, I mean, Carlton, you'd have to see things really, come down. And I don't think they're going to want to do it with, oil and all that. Let's see, this was a real high. These are recessions, I think. Yeah, oh, that's interesting how this is mapped out. I like this chart. Generally just keeps going down, which I think at the end of like an empire or whatever you want to call it, changing world order, it would generally trend down, It'll take its time though, but yeah. Because I mean, this was 08 and it was still, like if you got in at the top, it was 6% or whatever. But you couldn't really, you'd have had to wait some years to refinance. I mean, 6%, maybe you could have got 4 or something if you were able to hold on 4 years or whatever, but yeah, just thinking there. I mean, yeah, historically, like we're at very average, like kind of prices historically, but the trend has always been down, you know what I mean? And generally in recessions, it always goes down. So that's when I think it'll actually, like if you have a recession a couple of years, like late 2020s, early 2030s, probably down, yeah. 30 more, I mean, 2%, it's going to take years, bro. Maybe early 2030s. That's 5 years away at least, I would say. I mean, that's the next recession away. You need asset prices to drop for that. You're not getting down to 2%. You're not getting down to 2% mortgage rates without asset prices dropping. I mean, you were at 2% for a few months or something. It was average around like 3, you were there a little bit. I think you could get to 5.5 by the middle of this year. That's what I would guess, 5.5 or something of that nature, So yeah. Agreed here. I mean, I think we're getting close. We'll probably still get to 100, but I think we're getting close to where we see the pullback or whatever. And I do think that, if it's around there, let's say it's around 100, I think it's going to be like 50% from there, which would be right at 50K. And I think that's going to be the big point. Florida homes for sale. It depends where yeah, I mean, there's been some, the thing with real estate is I feel like, because it's such a subjective market, it's really, how much does the person want to sell it for, or how much does the person want to take? If you look deep enough, you could always find some good deals, usually. Aside from like frickin' the end of 2021 or early 2022, but you know what I mean? I mean, Miami real estate futures, it's down a little bit, man. I mean, for anything you want, like there's some 1-bedrooms as like investment properties I've seen in like downtown Miami or Brickell. There's a few of them for like 370, 380, maybe 700 square feet or something, 750. I feel like those could be decent deals because you probably could cash flow, maybe 1,000 a month if you can do it right. I mean, I don't even know the freaking. I mean, the property tax. I mean, I have a property there. I mean, the property taxes, all that crap. I mean, I think it's a decent market, long term. But I mean, at the end of the day, what are we trying to outperform? We're trying to outperform and this is what's going to be interesting here. I think this year it will probably outperform the S&P 500, but it just keeps, well, When you look at this chart, you're just like, and it just keeps bleeding against it, obviously. I mean, you came up a little bit here, you know, '08, you know, because, and then back down, you know, a few years later, back down. So yeah, and then making lower lows, but I do think you'll get some type of relief here. Real estate's not something that, like, I mean, it's good for a lot of people, especially if you're going to live in it, because you're not paying the, you know, you're gaining equity and all that. But yeah, if you can get a good deal, you know, it's good diversification. I mean, ultra rich people, well, if you consider, I would say net worths of like 15 mil or more, generally they would be allocated like 30% real estate. A lot of times it's just the house they live in. Like if you got 15 mil, a lot of times they have like a $5 million house, you know, I would say. And then 5 mil is in equities, and the last 5 mil is generally like with a hedge fund or in bonds, something like that. But yeah, well, are you in Florida? None of your business, mind me asking? Yeah, but it depends. It depends what you're into too. Like, do you want to manage property? Do you want to do real estate? Like, it's I mean, Charlie Munger called it a low IQ way to make money. And I think it's kind of true to a certain extent, because it's like it is an easy way. Like, it's easy to understand. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those easier ways to, you know, kind of make money. It's not like something that's going to take you a ton of time to really learn. I mean, I guess to do it right and get the good deals and all that, yes, but you know, it's something most people can do if you just have the capital. But that means the returns could be less too. So yeah. What's this one? Any different here? 6.0, yeah, 3 to. I would say that's a bearish kind of pattern. Means nothing though, probably, but yeah, I would hope for end of year, maybe if Trump could work his magic, 5%, maybe, just maybe 5%. But this is the lowest we've seen compared to there for those mortgage rates. This is the lowest we've seen. And this probably, unless you bounce here, triple bounce, triple bottom or whatever. Farmland could be a damn good investment too. I mean, I'm not somebody to ask about damn farmland, but yeah, cattle farm, that seems to keep going up, although maybe you're buying the top, who the hell knows. I do think farmland probably will outperform the SPY in the 2030s in the lost decade. Farmland probably will outperform normal residential too. If you bought like a cattle farm in Paraguay or, you know, Argentina, maybe, you know, you maybe get some good deals too. Farmland, yeah, I mean, I don't know where to begin with that. I would say farmland's expensive though, because you got to buy like, I mean, I guess you could do a small cattle farm, like a hobbyist, but to actually like make money with it, it's usually a bigger situation. I mean, the billionaires are buying farmland, you know, control the food, you know, makes sense. It actually could be a good investment, because I think long term, if you have like robots doing all this stuff, you know, that would be easier, I would say. I'm trying to think of like something that AI will really, rather than just invest in AI, like some investment where AI makes it easier to get a good ROI on it for cheaper. I don't know. Closer to equator, but north of it. Well, that would be Colombia, I don't know, Mexico. Colombia could be one of them. I've heard there's more security risks in having a farm in Colombia. There are some cool areas though. Costa Rica, you could definitely do. I'm just not, you know, it's like anything else. You really got to research it. The thing too with farms, and probably why, I mean, this is true in every country, like the people that own the farms and own the land, they do pretty well, I think, usually, but the people that work on them are usually paid very, very low. And those are generally the poorest parts of most countries, I think, or almost every country, or could be every economy, even because U.S. I mean, most you hear about like the Isan region of Thailand. That's a lot more poor, unfortunately. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's easier unskilled labor. That could be why. Less resources in rural areas. I think that's true for most places. So yeah, I mean, that's what I would say. Anyway, guys, smash the like button. Oh, and check out this new promo. We got a new promo for you guys over on BYDFI. It ends in 2 weeks. Deposit 20K, get 2,000. Deposit 5K, get 500, or deposit any lower amounts and get some good bonuses too. It's actually a higher percentage if you deposit 1,000 or 500 or 100, get 50. So check it out. Deposit at least 150 on either of these exchanges. Make sure you open a support ticket with okay. Yeah, so to open a support ticket with your UID or your email, we'll give you a free month in Discord. 20% fees for life with BloFin and BYDFI. Check it out. Links are down below and in the pinned chat. I think I'm gonna get going, guys. I want to catch up on. Got a few more episodes of the latest season of Stranger Things that I've been watching. Always appreciate you guys smashing the like button, all that good stuff. Watch my pre-recorded video earlier today. A lot of good stuff for the aggregation of like kind of energy and then into crypto when the time is right. So yeah, I mean, that could be cool. And yeah, I mean, that's cool. That's cool. And follow me on Twitter. We're almost getting up to freaking 8,000 followers. Would be cool. I think more people are getting excited about crypto. Obviously, it's going up. People like it. Yeah, that's that. Appreciate you, Jay Sherlock. Appreciate all you guys. Shout out to Plan E helping me out. Shout out to all you guys. Cool conversations. I'll see you.